got to get the toxic people out of your life. I don't mean like cut them off forever. I mean limit their ability to interact with you and be toxic. I have a few people in my life that tend to be toxic from time to time. And you know what? I have no problem on the phone with them without getting angry. And before I get angry, just hitting the end button. And then they go, did you hang up on me? Yes, I did. Well, how come? Because it was going in a direction that I had no interest in, and I've already told you I'm not going to have those kind of conversations. So if you're going to go there and you're going to have all that, click. Now, I'm not saying slam, and I've lost my shalom. I do that before losing my shalom. And then I don't start overthinking it for the next hour, 5 hours, all day long, feeling horrible that I hung up on that person. I'm not trying to get you all to hang up on people. I'm saying figure out some way to limit the inflow of toxicity from people in your life that are causing you so much strain in your emotions. Amen? Spend less time with them. Or better yet, make sure that if you are going to, whatever you do, tell them, this thing is not working for me. If we can't figure it out, I will have to limit the interaction. Then they'll throw all the guilt and all the manipulation emotionally at you, and you have to say, see, that's exactly what I'm talking about. Just call them right out on it. See, what you just did, that's the problem. Then they'll throw more of it at you, and then you say, I'll see you next week, or I'll see you next month. You think about that. I'm not mad at you. I'm not punishing you. I'm protecting me. But if you're going to come across and they hear anger and bitterness, now those words don't work. Do this before you get triggered. And say, hold on, time out. No, we're not doing this. We're not doing this dance that we always do. If you want to do that dance, do it by yourself. Okay, I'm leaving or I'm hanging up the phone or whatever it is. Or they can leave. Maybe they're staying with you and they need to leave. Whatever it is. Why do we, but they're my mother, they're my father, they're my brother, they're my, whatever. What do you have all these buts for? You know what? Here's the rule. Rule number one, if you're not going to deal with it, I don't want to hear you complaining about it. Is that fair? No clapping. Okay, so you're all thinking, oh no, okay. But that's what everybody should be thinking. Look, if you're not dealing with it, why do you put it on everybody else to whine and complain and wear them out with your drama? Now, that's not to say don't call for counsel. That's different. Call for counsel. I do want to help you with it. But I'm saying is if you're just complaining, like in conversation, it's not in counsel and everything else, if you're not willing to do something about it, don't complain. I've told people this many times. Well, but I can't, do this or this or this with that person. Well, then own it and say then you're to be okay with it. If that toxic person is somebody you can then choose to handle without it destroying your shalom and everything else, and you can love them through all that, they need that, by the way. I'm not trying to make you feel worse. But most of us are not capable to handle those toxicities coming at us on a regular basis all day long. And then you act shameful because you pop your cork and you do something that now you feel more guilty because you know you didn't honor somebody, you didn't honor him or whatever you did. All of this really has to, think of, what does it have to do with Luke chapter 9? Because it has to do with denying self. Your self is what's getting all messed up in all that. Get the self piece out of it. And if you have not, and I own this part. I understand that when I come across sometimes, I'm not explaining enough that I realize there's a journey here. So let me explain the journey. If you are not yet ready, okay, to be able to do what I'm saying, then you have to create the space. What I mean is, when I said, if you can't deny self enough to handle a toxic person and be what they need in the right way, then you need to create space because you're not good to them or yourself. Don't feel bad that you can't handle them. Most people can't. When I say most people, I mean most people can't handle something similar, and probably they can't handle the person you're thinking of either. And that's why they're bothering you, because nobody else will talk to them. And so all they do come now is bother you, because nobody else will talk to them. And then they feel then they give you the guilt, like, well, if you don't come and talk to, nobody will take care of me. I'll just end my life. I'll just do that. You know what? Fine, go. I don't mean it that way, but you know what I'm saying? Don't let the threats, and tell them right up front, say, look, I'm not going to be manipulated emotionally. Don't threaten me. I love you. I will help take care of you. I'm going to do whatever it takes. We're friends. We're related. You're my mother. You're my father. You're my brother. You're my kid. Could be a kid. It could be an adult kid, so it's not a kid anymore, who is just toxic like crazy. And you have to have boundaries. Otherwise, you will not be denying self, and you will bringing on yourself shame because you're going to act in a way that doesn't honor him. This is taking up your stake daily. See, this is all tied together to what Yeshua was saying. Look, you got to follow him.